Sorry for this interruption which has taken place. I hope that we can move to the slide. And here we have this third point, that is a thing, listening, responding, and understanding. This is another thing that we have to look into it. A good conversation involves an active listening, thoughtful responses, and genuine understanding must be there. It is not just about speaking, but also about paying attention and reacting appropriately. And the next one, it is about interaction, dialogue, and participation. When we just have conversation, and there you have two-way process that requires active participation, and it thrives on dialogue. The mutual give and take between speakers and listeners must be there. And then the fifth one, it is about social, personal, and cultural. And conversation happen in many contexts: social, personal, or cultural way. They help to build relationship, strength, communities, and bridge cultural differences there. And the sixth one, it is about communication skills, clarity, and connection. Effective conversation depends. Yes, ma'am. Yes, okay, madam, it is not clear. It's right. Is not clear. Yes. Yes, madam. Yes, ma'am. Actually, I get my own voice there. Okay, okay. Yes, fine. Yes, anyway, and let me just move on to the third one. What is formal conversation? Let me enter into that. Madam, please just change that slide. I hope this slide, it doesn't work. Yes, find the next slide, madam. Ma'am? Yes, madam. Next slide, it is not moving, ma'am. Not audible. Yes, okay, now it is audible. Yes, ma'am, is it audible? I don't know. Yes, okay. What is a formal conversation? Structured, official, purposeful. எனக்கு தெரியல மேம் என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்னு நான் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஃபோன்லயாவது கனெக்ட் ஆகட்டா Hello, is it audible? Yes, fine. Yes, fine. And we can continue that core ethical principles in conversation. Yes, fine. And let me just continue this. There is some problem. I don't know what is happening here. But since I just wanted to share the thing what I just have prepared. And ethical principle, core ethical principles in conversation. And it first talks about always communicates, it always communicate honestly and present facts accurately. And we are supposed to avoid exaggeration, manipulation, or misinformation that we should not share. And that's the reason why they are giving more importance to this honesty, truthfulness, and accuracy. The second one is about respect, empathy, and consideration. It shows the respect for others. It is an opinion that we have to just see when we are just seeing that that we have to respect the opponent too, and listen actively and respond with empathy and understanding. So this is a thing that we have to keep in our mind. And then the third one, it talks about the accountability, responsibility, consistency. And it takes respond whenever we are just making a conversation, we should be the one who should take the responsibility of the words and action what we do and be consistent in maintaining ethical standards in every conversation what we utter. And fourth one is about the fairness, justice, and impartiality, and treat everyone equally without bias or any favoritism. So that we have to see that, and we should not be biased, and give others a fair chance to express their views. And the next one is about confidentiality, discretion, and privacy. Respect the privacy of others too. When we are just thinking about our own privacy, that we have to give respect for others' privacy too. Do not share personal or sensitive information without their permission. So if you do so, and it will be that one which will go away from this confidentiality. So sixth one, it talks about the integrity, morality, reliability. So uphold all the moral values when we speak and stay true to your principle so that be someone when we are just doing something that we have to create trust and others should rely on the thing what we are speaking. So next one is ethical verbal communication and First one, it talks about the tone, politeness, clarity, and maintain a respectful tone and speak politely. Ensure ensure your message is clear and easy to understand. And when you're just talking about this vocabulary, professionalism, and precision, and use appropriate and professional language. And that will be very helpful when you're just communicating with others in the workplace or things. And choose words carefully to convey your message accurately and precisely. So avoid the slang, sarcasm, and insult. So refrain from using informal slang, sarcasm, or any language that may sound offensive or disrespectful. And fourth one is about active listening, which says about active listening process. Ethical communication involves listening attentively, and giving constructive feedback and responding thoughtfully. So the next one is about this positive language, and use positive words and encourage words to motivate others and create an supportive communication environment. So this is a thing what we have to do. And coming on to the slide saving, ethical non-verbal communication. Hello. And slide 7. It seems to be the ethical non-verbal communication. When you're just talking about the postures, gestures, and body language, and we are supposed to maintain an open and confident posture, use gestures that are natural and supportive of your message, and not distracting or aggressive. And this is a thing that we have to remember there. And even the second thing, what we are just going to talk about is eye contact, attention, respect. And we are supposed to maintain appropriate eye contact to show attentiveness and respect. And we are supposed to avoid this staring and ignoring, as we both can just the people those who are just having a conversation, both can create some sort of an discomfort, and we should not feel that sort of a discomfort when you are just having an eye contact. And the third one is about facial expressions, emotions, and awareness. Your facial expression should reflect sincerity and match your message what you are delivering. And be aware of your expressions to avoid and sending the wrong signals while you just make an conversation. See that, and it will offend others too. And the next one is about this distance and spatial respect and cultural sensitivity. And this sort of respect personal space and understanding. It creates a cultural differences even in the physical proximity and touch during this communication. We are supposed to maintain some sort of a distance while we just communicate. Even you have to see that how they are culturally connected with it. And then the silent pauses and reflection. Use silence thoughtfully. So it allows time for reflection and shows patience and respect for others' viewpoints. And the last one in that is ethical nonverbal communication is engagement, attentiveness, and receptivity. So stay engaged through nodding, and when you're just making an active listening, we used to nod, and responsive gestures to show interest and understanding. And the next one is about this active listening ethics. So, in this active listening ethics, that we are supposed to concentrate, focus, and present things. If your full attention is on the speaker, and we may be just staying mentally and physically, if you are just being distracted, and it will not be in a position to just concentrate and focus and And coming to this patience, tolerance, open mindedness, listen calmly and patiently, even if you disagree, and be open to different opinions and perspectives. And fourth one is about avoid interrupting, judging, or reacting. And let speaker finish before responding, and you are supposed to avoid interrupting, make quick judgment, or reacting emotionally. All these things can be avoided. And acknowledgement, which makes an feedback, and then encouragement. And that is another one which we are supposed to see there. And when you're just acknowledging, and we used to nod, and we show some sort of verbal cues or supportive feedbacks that encourages the speakers to continue. And the sixth one is about this empathy, emotional awareness, and respect. And this sort of a thing, it makes understand and respect the speaker's feeling. Listening with empathy builds trust and strengthens communication. And the next slide is about this professional courtesy. When you're just starting to say about this professional courtesy, and greetings, address, and titles are the very important things. And begin interaction with the proper greeting and use correct titles or forms of an address. This shows respect and professionalism towards others. And then second one is about the politeness, respect, and etiquette. Main polite language and courteous behavior is essential. And when you're just doing in that workspace ethic in speech, the tone and body language is essential for that. From that, you can just understand. And third one is about this thankfulness, appreciation, and recognition. It is another thing which can represent about the gratitude. And fourth is about listening, responsiveness, patience. Listen actively and respond thoughtfully. So that it is a thing. Being patient and attentive reflects maturity and respect for others' point of view. And fifth is about this hierarchy, protocol, and role awareness. So observe organizational hierarchy and protocol. According to that, communicate appropriately based on roles and responsibility, what it is assigned to you. And sixth one is about this decorum, discipline, and reliability. And when you're just talking about this decorum, discipline, and reliability, we are supposed to maintain professionalism in appearance, behavior, and even in the punctuality that we are supposed to maintain. Being disciplined and reliable builds trust and credibility. And the next one is about ethical tone and manner. And in the very first thing, calmness, neutrality, and respect, it is expected. And it is a little bit challenging thing also. And speak respectfully to create a positive communication environment. And second is about this modulation and voice clarity. Use proper voice modulation and speak clearly. A steady tone helps convey confidence and sincerity. And next, it's about this professional composure and confidence. Present yourself with composure and professionalism. Confidence in speech builds trust and credibility. So, courtesy is also about a thing, and warm tone encourages open dialogue. So, being approachable makes other feel comfortable and valued. So, next one is about avoiding aggression, impatience, and rudeness. When you're just talking about all these things, and we might come across all these aspects, refrain from using harsh or impatient tone. And whenever we are just making use of it, and we get upset. And ethical communication requires self control and emotional balance. So, these things that we are supposed to have. And the next one is consistency, awareness, and integrity. Maintain consistency in your tone and manner across all interactions. So, beware of your impact on others and speak with honesty and integrity. And the next one, it is about confidentiality ethics, privacy, secrecy, and trust. And respect others' privacy by keeping personal or organizational information secure. So, maintaining secrecy builds mutual trust. And discretion, protection, and responsibility. Exercise discretion. When handling sensitive information, we are supposed to have this sort of protection. And protect it responsibly to prevent misuse or unauthorized disclosure. So that is another one that we have to, if it is an unauthorized one, and we are supposed to be very, very rigid in that part. And next one is ethical sharing, consent, and boundaries. Share information only when appropriate and with proper consent. And know and respect the boundaries of confidentiality. And the next one is about integrity, reliability, and accountability. Be honest and dependable in maintaining confidentiality. And next one is about confidential practice, professionalism, and ethics. Upholding confidentiality demonstrates professionalism and ethical maturity. It strengthens credibility and organizational integrity. So that is the thing that we are supposed to see. And hierarchical communication is there, and here we have this different aspects of hierarchies. And when you're just taking up this hierarchies, we have to see the protocol, role, and responsibilities. And whatever the thing that we are just taking, understand and respect defined roles and responsibility. And third is about ethical differences, politeness, and patience. Here we have this uh, point of email and digital ethics. And polite greetings, subject clarity, and professional tone. If you just see this, it begins with a respectful greeting, use a clear subject line, and maintain a formal, courteous tone throughout it. And it goes on to the second one, accuracy, brevity, relevance. Keep your message precise and focused on the purpose. Avoid unnecessary details or long explanations. So, proofreading, corrections, and formatting is also there. Here we have the review of grammar, spelling, and structure to ensure your email looks professional and error free. And the next one is about confidentiality, privacy, and security. Protect sensitive information, respect others' privacy, and use secure communication channels when needed. Coming on to this fifth point of ethics, timely responses, accountability, respect. Reply within a reasonable time frame and acknowledgement messages to demonstrate responsibility and courtesy. Positive expression, courtesy, professionalism. Use polite languages, express ideas positively, and reflect professionalism in both tone and content. And the next one is telephone and online call ethics. Here we have to see that start every call with a polite greeting, clearly introduce yourself, and maintain a respectful tone throughout. And the next one is about clarity, pace, and tone. So here we have to speak clearly and at a moderate pace with an even pleasant tone to ensure effective understanding. And third is about listening, response, attention. Pay full attention, listen carefully to others, and respond thoughtfully without rushing. And fourth is about avoid interruptions, distractions, and misunderstandings. Do not interpret while others are speaking, so stay focused and avoid background noise or multitask. And fifth is about this summarization of confirmation closure thing. While you're ending it, summarize a key point or agreement and confirm understanding to ensure clarity. Respect timing, professionalism, and courtesy. Join calls on time. Keep discussion concise and always end with gratitude and professionalism. And the next one is interview ethics. Here, preparation, knowledge, and punctuality. And it arrives on time and research thoroughly about the organization and be and polite, respect professionalism. Polite, respect professionalism. Here we have this greet interviewers courteously, maintain respectful body language, and behave with complete professionalism. And third one, it is about confidence, honesty, and humility. Speak with confidence, but remain humble and truthful about your qualifications and experience. So this is another one which we have to see here. And fourth is about communication skills, clarity, articulation. Express ideas clearly so that you use appropriate language and listen attentively to question before answering. So that is there. And the next one is ethical integrity, accountability, reliability. So demonstrate integrity by being honest in your responses and responsible in presenting your achievement. So it is very, very essential when you're just talking about this interview ethics. Observing protocol, hierarchy, and ethics. Follow formal procedures, respect the interviewer's role, and adhere to professional interview ethics. And the next slide, 25, it seems to be the classroom conversation ethics. And whenever we are just coming towards this classroom conversation, it happens. And when we are just having this sort of a conversation, we too have that between this teacher and the student. Respect teachers, peers, and institution. And when you're just making this sort of a conversation, show respect through attentive listening, courteous speech, and appreciation for the learning environment. And polite language, listening, and participation. Here we have to use respectful language. Listen carefully to the others, what they are doing, what they are talking, and participate actively. Unless you participate actively, and it will not be a meaningful one. And third one is about constructive questions, answers, and feedback. And here we have to ask thoughtful questions. And many times that we will face this sort of an experience, respond positively and give feedback that contributes collective learning. So when you're just having this sort of an classroom conversation ethics, that if we follow all these things itself, that we can just make a great improvement there. And coming on towards this fourth one, avoid distraction, disruptions, and irrelevance. Many times we have to stay focused and avoid another sort of conversation which runs beside us, and that we have to just see that and maintain classroom discipline while we make it. And fifth is about ethical collaboration, teamwork, discussion. Work honestly in tasks, respect diverse opinions. So each and everyone, what we are just giving, we have to consider them and promote teamwork and shared learning too. And sixth is about encouragement, inclusions, fairness. Encourage purity, respect everyone's right to speak, and foster an inclusiveness and supportive classroom atmosphere. And the next one is about conflict resolution ethics. This conflict resolution ethics, it is also playing a role, and that we have to see that that is a calmness, listening, and patience. These things are missing that, and that we have to create approach disagreements with composed mind, listen carefully to all sides, and allow time for thoughtful responses. So it should take place when you're just having it. Understand and being empathetic and being balanced. It is another one. Try to understand others' perspective with empathy and maintain emotional balance throughout the decisions or the discussion what we are just making. And next one is about this negotiation, compromise, and cooperation. And we seek a mutual beneficial solution through this open dialogue. Flexibility is there, and also the teamwork is there. And what we have to avoid here is blaming others, aggression, and bias. And focus on the thing, what it is happening, and not the person. We should take only that uh, thing that we have to see only the issue, not the person who is just delivering it, so that we can avoid this personal attacks, aggression, and favoritism. And ethical mediation, objectivity, and fairness. When resolving conflicts, remain neutral, just and ensure that every party is treated with equal respect. See that it has to be respected. Solution focused, and then uh, respectful, constructive, and prioritizing finding that a practical and ethical solution while maintaining a positive and respectful tone that it is there. The next one is ethical persuasion and influence, honesty, clarity. And when you're just talking about this, ethical persuasion aims for this to inform and influence others truthfully with clear and transparent communication so that we can just make it. And logic, evidence, and reasoning. And it suppose arguments with this sound logic and credible facts that we have to present, and rational explanations rather than emotions or exaggeration that we have to present. And third, respect autonomy, consent, choice. Yes, we are supposed to talk about it. It allow individuals to the freedom to decide whether persuasion should be empowered or controlled or misled. That we have to see there. And coming on to the fourth, avoid coercions and manipulations and pressures, and never exploit emotions, authority, or misinformation to that force of agreement or compliance. And fifth is about this encouragement and encourage agreement there, understanding, trust. So we are supposed to see this one. It is a genuine thing that we have to understand and persuade. And sixth is about the professional integrity, transparency, and ethics. Maintain honestly, openness, and moral responsibility in every persuasion communication. The next one is about emotional intelligence. Yes, and you're just talking about emotional intelligence. There comes a self-awareness, self-regulation, self-motivations. It should be there. Understanding one's own emotion and managing them effectively helps to maintain professionalism and an ethical behavior. And here comes this empathy, social skills, and sensitivity. As we have seen this empathy part, and recognizing and responding to others' emotion with care and respect fosters trust and positive relationships. And third is about this emotional control. So this emotional intelligence, it makes a thing what we have to do. And then emotional control, patience, and reflection. Staying calm and composed during challenges ensures balance and ethical communication. So, relationship building, communication adaptability, it is there. When you're just having this sort of a thing, and this emotional intelligence enhances teamwork, and that sort of an adaptability and constructive dialogue should happen. And fifth is about this problem solving, critical thinking, and decision making. And emotionally intelligent individuals, they use reason, empathy to make fair, ethical, and thoughtful decisions. So the next one is ethical leadership, responsibility, and collaboration. Emotionally aware that the leaders inspired integrity and accountability will also be there, and cooperative efforts within their team, it should take place in ethical leadership aspects. And the next slide, it seems about this feedback ethics. In this feedback ethics, the first one is about constructive, respectful, objective. Feedback should aim to improve performance, deliver respectfully, and based on facts and not personal opinions. So second one, it talks about the focus on behavior, action, and result. Yes, we have to see that address the specific actions or outcome rather than the personality or the character traits. Fine. And balance praise, suggestions, and guidance. Combine positive reinforcement with helpful suggestions to make feedback motivating and effective. So, encourage growth, learning, and improvement. Ethical feedback supports the learning process and helps the individuals to develop their skills and confidence. And avoid criticism, judgment, and personal attacks, because being in the professional, settings, we have to avoid just hurting others or discouraging or offend somebody else. And timing, tone, and delivery. When you're just coming to this timing, tone, and delivery, choose the right moment, use a calm tone, and deliver the feedback in a considerate and private manner when necessary. If it is necessary, you give. If it is not necessary, you leave it. And the next slide talks about advanced ethical competence. When you're talking about this advanced ethical competence, reflect, practice, self assessment, and awareness. It involves regularly reflecting on one's action and even evaluating ethical decisions and being aware of personal values, emotions, and biases to improve this moral understanding and professional behavior. So here comes another one, and which says about the moral judgment, context, and nuances. And here it makes a fair and informed decision by considering the specific content, understanding the complexities, and applying moral reasons when you're just making it in a sensitive manner with balance within. And the next one is about cultural sensitivity, diversity, inclusion. It emphasizes different cultures and perspectives and even background, and it ensures this inclusivity, equality, and fairness in communication and decision making. So another one is ethical flexibility and adaptability and wisdom. And it says about it is an adjusting ethical approach according to the changing situations while maintaining integrity. Demonstrating maturity is also important, and applying that wisdom which we get. Whether if you are just having any sort of a dilemma that you have to resolve it. And leadership monitoring and guidance, it says about the ethical example. For example, if you're just guiding others towards responsible behavior and promoting them, and it builds some sort of a cultural aspect. At the same time, trust, honesty, and accountability also it takes place within the team. And the last one is their professional integrity, responsibility, and influence. Without this, a positive influence cannot be created in the ethical actions in professional content. And the next slide is about this cultural ethics. And whenever we are talking about this culture, need to say about different background. Here also it emphasizes valuing and different backgrounds, traditions, and individual identities to promote equality and mutual respect is also expected. And avoid stereotypes, bias, and prejudice. So when you are just removing these preconceived notions or unfair judgment, it will be good. And inclusion, dialogue, and understanding, it promotes active participation of all cultural groups to open dialogue, mutual understanding, and acceptance. So global one, and you're just having this global awareness and this sensitivity, adaptations. And here we have just shown some sort of tools which is just given for formal conversation documentation. So if you're just seeing those tools, you can apply tools for formal conversation. These tools are very essential, and it is used for this ethics in formal conversation. And the tools of Google Docs, and then Google Meet, Google Slides, and etiquettes. And you have this sort of thing, and you can make use of this, and you can just get that information. It is very easy, and you can just make use of it. And coming on to that next one, it talks about this professionalism and the tools that it is used to help and convert the message of professional formats, ensuring respectful and ethical communication. And the next one is about this perfect reply, and it is another one. And it assists in crafting replies matching formal requirements and ethical standards. And next is about this Grammarly, and yesterday also that Madam Priya, she has pointed out about this. And not only that, all people are nowadays using this Grammarly, and you know about it is meant for this language clarity, tone, and things that you can change from it. And learning management system is another one. And Google Classrooms that we can just use different modules and with proper digital thing. And Padlet, it is a micro thing. And ICT tool, it is used to foster respective collaborative work and ethical group contributions. So these things, it will help us. And even that things which we are just nowadays using is Google Doc and Slack, Trello and Notion, Zoom. I mean, in these platforms nowadays, we are just making use of this Make in India process. The Zoho is introduced, and it is used for this formal conversation, even for the mail that we are using it, and for live meets also that we are using it. And so nowadays we are just going to convert into this from Google to Zoho, and find. And here as the Exo platform, ClickUps, and ProProfs project, and Figma, and then GitHub. So these are the things which you can just later see and have a screenshot, and you can just try on. And the next slide is intercultural communication ethics. And it talks about it. I hope that we have just seen avoid stereotypes, these that we have seen them. And digital communication process. Yes, we are supposed to see about this digital communication process. And here comes this accuracy, clarity, and professionalism. And we are supposed to see the digital messages are clear, factual, and professionally written, and avoid ambiguity while doing it. And we are supposed to hold up the digital communication ethics too, and confidentiality to be built. And it involves protecting personal and organizational information, and respecting privacy and maintaining secure communication channels. And then the politeness, respect, and positive language, it encourages our courteous and respectful tone in emails, messages, and online interaction to maintain professionalism and harmony. And avoid misuse of spams and misinterpretations. And ethical sharings or source attribution credibility. And stress is given more proper credit to those original sources. So sharing verified information and maintaining honesty in digital content is very essential. And timeliness, responsiveness, and accountability. And it is about the importance of prompt replies of things responsible for digital behavior. And it is also, and the accountability for one's online communication is also expected. And the next slide, leadership and ethical communication. And here comes this role modeling, and then integrity, credibility. And this ethical leaders set an example through honest, transparent, and principled communication that builds trust and respect there. And next one is about leaders use their influence ethically, make responsibility for their words, and making fair, well informed communication decision. And third one is about motivation, encouragement, and support. And to positive and empathetic communication, leaders inspire and empower others to perform with confidence and integrity. So this is another one. And conflict management is even in the leadership that we are supposed to have this conflict management, fairness, and respect. Ethical leaders handle disagreements calmly because they won't fight, and ensuring all voices are heard and mutual respect is maintained. They leaders will always follow that. And vision, strategy, ethical awareness. They communicate a clear vision, and strategic goal will be achieved in the leadership approach. Collaboration, trust, and professionalism. Here comes the dialogue, reliability, and respect. Ethical leaders create an environment of teamwork and professionalism. And the very last slide here, it is about the reflection summary. What are the things that we have seen so far? And ethics defines communication, professionalism, and reputation. Even the ethical values guide how we communicate, and shaping our credibility and maintaining a strong professional image. And next to that, we have this respect sustains harmony, understanding, and collaboration. So, mutual respect in conversation, it builds positive relationships and also fosters cooperative, inclusive environment. And third is about listening promotes empathy, trust, and engagement. Active listening helps to understand others' perspectives, encouraging trust and meaningful connections. Formal conversation ensures clarity, structure, and responsibility. So it gives some sort of an respect, and it is much more purposeful when we just communicate with the proper manner. And fifth is about practice integrity, discretion in accountability, upholding honesty and confidentiality strengthens more moral conduct and professional reliability. And the last is about this continuous improvement, awareness, and leadership. Yes, in this ethical communication, it involves through this reflection, learning, and responsible leadership that inspires others also. Yes, fine. Out of many hurdles that we have just completed, if you have any questions, you can just ask. Is there any questions? If you're not having any question, we can just complete it. If you're just having any sort of a doubt, you can post so that we can just see that his Google form has been shared. Out of many hurdles that we have just come to an end of it. And thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you. Out of many hurdles that we have just come to an end of it. And thank you all for your patient